Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I found out it's not a bent bumper, but the body sagging on the frame as the floor is completely rotted out completely to the core. So I grabbed some 2x4s, reframe it, and do some more, including the steps and tightening up the doors. You know what? I didn't think of this when I was working on it, but you know what I just got done doing? I just got done straightening out my bumper. You can see the dent in it, and it was off quite a bit, and it was kind of sticking up through the rotted floor joist. Gonna make it hard to repair, and I figured out a way to fix it. I got my jack up on there, and I lifted it up just enough to go ahead and take out the blocks I had piled up, holding it up. And just as a, completely coincidental help, I have this here sitting here bolted up to the ceiling, holding this wall up, which really, again, doesn't make a big difference, but I'm sure it helped a little. So anyway, point is, I jacked it up enough to get this loosened, then dropped the jack all the way down, and came over here with my sledgehammer and beat it for a little bit, realized it wasn't going down and started to dent it. Took a piece of wood, and that was just too loud. Still wasn't getting the effect I needed. So I took a 4x4, stuck it out to about here, got up on it, and started jumping on it, and bent it down, and you just saw it, it's level and straight. So now what I've got to do is reframe the floor and walls and lift this up just half an inch or so, where you can see it right there. The whole thing is down just a tiny bit. So I lift the whole thing up and reframe it, and the idea is when I jack up over here, instead of rebending the frame again, it should pick up the whole unit as a square over here. So that should be a good permanent fix. But yeah, now the door is going to line up even better. So now it's time to go ahead and take the door down and rebuild the door like I did the front door. Yeah, and I finally got that thing straightened out. Oh, that thing's never looked so good and tight, sealed up. It ought to be even better insulation than it was before, but it's straighter. Good deal. All right, I think it's time to come and sit back down with J&K and take a break. All right, it's about time I got this thing straightened out, since I got the wall holding up and the frame and I got the frame and bumper straightened out. Now this floor is a whole lot leveler, more level like it's supposed to. Oops, I guess turn it the right way. Door opens up correctly. They even got started getting the door straightened out a little bit without taking it off. And look what it did to this. This thing here was sitting like, that corner was sitting down, and now it's almost level. I had to pull that up. Same with that, sitting like that. Now it's almost level. I'm gonna still, like I said, still have to raise the entire whole back wall. Needs to come up a little bit from all the rot in the corners. And look at all this stuff that fell down. I'd actually cleaned this out pretty good, and when I was bumping on the axle and shifting the wall and everything, I guess stuff up there in that corner over there come and fall down up in here. So now that I got this a lot straighter though, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out. See, before I bought this, the people that had this before me went and added all this stuff to cover up the fact that this is what it actually looked like up underneath here. They just put all this padding around so you couldn't tell when I bought this thing. Although, and over the years owning this thing, I figured out, that they kind of sold me something that wasn't as good as expected. See what I'm saying? They put that padding up there so it looks nice, but that's because behind the scenes, yeah. So my goal is to start really seriously replacing just about all of this, a little bit at a time. And now I actually got a good, reasonable thing to start working on. Like I said, just, man, amazing though how much straighter that is. I mean, I couldn't even open the drawers of that door without them binding because it was so twisted. Now, I mean, look at the gap. Just from straightening it out a little bit. Good deal. Yep. All right, before I get started too much and tearing this apart, just cleaning it out, I used to be able to see daylight right there, and I had shoved this big sheet up in the corner just to kind of keep it from getting a draft. But like I said, after I straightened the wall and retucked up the weatherproofing, it yeah, no daylight now. So now it's worthy of, like I said, repair and insulating. I'm gonna try to, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna watch what it looks like in behind all this when I get it cleaned out. All right. All right, look at that. Took that piece of plywood that they hunkered down in there, and what do we see? Wow, just about nothing. Yeah, that's just the weatherproofing. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely. No wonder this thing was so easy to bend. Nothing there to support it. Well, to anybody in this world who can fix it, I think I can do it. Not necessarily today without going to the hardware store, but soon enough. Yeah, see this one now, look at these. That's floor joist. Man, all right. Now I know what I'm dealing with. I ain't so afraid like I was when I first got this thing, but man, they did a good job covering this damage up, but not good enough for me not to find it eventually. And this is kind of what the floor looked like by the door too when I first got this thing, and you see how solid it is now. All right, here's with all the drawers out and everything. Get ready to put what they patched up, get it out of there. And man, there really is. There's just nothing left down there. Oh, look at that. Yummy, yummy. Well, this is one of the reasons why I'm so glad to, and I mean, look at that. That looks like a bunch of roach or mold or something. I don't know. It's not moldy anymore, but you know, you can see here it's even raining, nice and dry, but this is one reason why I'm, you know, taking it all apart and cleaning it all out. All right. They put 2 layers of this stuff on with a little trim piece to separate them. I got one of them out already, and it was more of a panel board, and this is that. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's, I don't like it. But anyway, and this is what it looked like before they covered it up. This is what they sold me, and just covered it up, didn't tell me. Put all that cord around everywhere, so it, like I said, it looks good up in the corners, but you know, you really get to looking in there and it's like, oh my goodness. All right, now let's see what's behind door number 3. Oh boy, a whole bunch of nothing. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, oh well. At least I'm willing to fix it and live in it for the rest of my life if I have to. Or whoever I sell it to will get a quality product. Alright, I got the paneling off the side. The good news is, good healthy looking insulation from at least the that stud right there, and it looks like it's in pretty good shape. But as expected, a lot of rot up in the corner here. Didn't notice it, but that corner marker light is dripping. That's gonna cause trouble when I fix this, so I gotta go around and just double check. But what's really troublesome is, yeah, that's rotted out back there, and I'm wondering
how far back it goes. I'm pretty sure right there where it's sagging right past the pillow is probably looking a little bit like that. And see how this thing here is all just falling apart and separated. I'm sure the paneling is like that right there. And way up in the living room at the very front, you can see over there I had to kind of peel it back up. So depending on the price of paneling, might just start one section at a time. And coming back up to here, I'm gonna have to stop at this piece though, because this closet and wall and bathtub and everything else gonna have to come out to go any further without any craziness. But I may not have to go too far. And while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and got some insulation out in the yard. Before I can even patch that up and fix it, I might as well grab the insulation and start putting it up on the wall as soon as I get that thing to stop leaking. But look at this right here. Absolutely nothing. Just that piece of L bracket that they bolted to the corners holding this thing together. Man, didn't realize it. Just absolutely nothing in this corner left. So that's where I'll start. I'll start, like I said, working on a frame around and then working it in this way. I'd like to just, you know, pull all this all out at once and redo it all. And eventually I might do that. Like I said, first thing to go do is get down to the hardware store and find me some more. I guess that's a 2x4, and those are 1x1s. I can probably take a 2x6 or something and trim them down, or I don't know. I talk too much. All right, there we go. That's a better shot of this with that internal wall completely taken out. I was going to try to just patch it back up there until I get to working on it, but it was just so bad shape and just folding in on itself. Could do it, so I got it out of here. A little dusty back here, so I'm going to leave the door open and try to get some of this stuff out here. And man, I don't know if this insulation is going to be a problem exposed or not. I guess I could probably try to toss a tarp on it or something. You know, though, it makes me think maybe I ought to get some plastic weatherproofing and do that, but then I'd be doing the whole camper to do it right. But wow, look at that. Can't believe it was like that when I got it. Yeah, well, check this out. I finally decided to get this corner here leveled out because the whole RV appeared to be pitched over just a little bit to the driver's side. Same thing over here. I had it blocked up and it seems to have settled, but since I got all my jacks working, I just, you know, used car jacks and whatnot I collect over the years that still work. Got them all working the other day. Ain't got no other uses, so I figured, you know, might as well just use them for semi-permanent balancers for now. This is the highest spot that the camper's sitting on, so I got this fixed, and then I got jacks on all three corners. Like I said, I'm not confident about leveling out this corner with this jack, but I don't have to, because like I said, coincidentally, oops, where is it? This right here is holding this whole corner up, as you saw with the rot inside. That jack is basically just bumping it up just a little bit. Now, I did jack this up after straightening this out, and it did lift the whole thing up, but it started to crunch up just a little tiny bit, which again, just not gonna even bother putting stress on this until I get me this piece of rotted wood out. We saw on the inside, there's just absolutely nothing here except this L bracket that they bolted right here. There's nothing on the inside at all now. It's all just completely gone. It was like that when I got it. Never knew it until I tore what, 3 layers of patch up over it to find it. Oh, and I can't forget, that light is leaking. Like I said, it's time to just go do them all. Give this thing a bath too. It's about time now that I got this straightened out. I mean, look at that. Look how level and straight that is. Man, never looked like that before.
Oh, hello, JK. What have you little birdies got to say today? Well, I've got a bit to do today, so let's look into getting started. I've got 2 projects I want to do today. With that, I got a bunch of plywood with that weed eater and blower and everything. And I want to take... Oops. I want to take the box spring mattress and get it out of here. It's kind of generic and cheap, and I'm sure it adds a little, like 5 or 10% more cushioning than the top mattress, but I don't think that 5-10% cushioning is worth having that taken over. So that's going to get out of here with the plywood. I don't think the 1/2-inch plywood by itself is going to be thick enough, since I've got some extra sheets. 2 sheets probably thick enough to hold the mattress up, but if I cut them down, then I'm going to waste an extra sheet. So it might be better to go to the little pile outside and see if I can't find a little bit of framing. Anyway, the bigger project is going to be over here. I'm going to go ahead and get up in here. I pulled you can see out there, I had that foam padding up on the floor in here, and the paneling I had stapled back up against the wall after I pulled it off for inspection last time, so it was at least covered up the fiberglass insulation. And then I just had that tarp stapled over here just to, make a barrier. Well, today, I was looking up in here, and, it's all rotted up in the corners here, but it looks like it's all right going down that direction. Let's see how this telephoto lens does. If it makes life any more interesting. Probably not. Anyway, so anyway, I could, splice into this for right now if I want to. And I think I can splice up in... See, this thing right here is going to be a little bit of a problem I'm going to have to work on. Yeah, I guess I could splice into the bottom, but man, that's real soft. I really want to splice up this way up into there, but I'm trying not to get too far into this corner and saying, because I really need to splice it up into here, and I don't want to peel this off yet until I'm ready to do the big project. But, fortunately, I did notice this is solid all the way down, and unexpectedly, because I really need to run a post all the way across to the other end, but this one here looks pretty solid going up to about here, and this I imagine going over there solid. And so what I'm going to do for right now, because I'm eventually going to redo this proper, is well, let me show you what's going on outside, and you'll see, because this has been loose, since I got it, but as you see, it's not separating off the wall like it used to. It used to separate where you can see right through. But hey, I did something kind of interesting on it, which I'll show you. I got this channeling here, and it's not quite as strong a stout as I had hoped it would be, but I got it across here for right now, just to kind of support what you saw going on inside. And then I went ahead, and you can see the people who owned it before me just patched up with these little strips going along the corners, and as I started to push up on it, it started to crumple. So I said, I'll tack all that in and see if I can lift the whole corner up. And I did. I was able to lift this whole end up a little bit to straighten out, and reattach the door a bit better. But as you can see, it's just, it's not strong and structural. I don't know where this 2x4 down here, or the joist I should say, is not really 2x4. I think it's more like a 2-inch minus the 1/2 inch to make it a 2x4. Anyway, my point is I don't know where this starts and ends. But you can see the siding's already kind of slid off, and I think it's got a cut right there.
So I might be able to just take that piece of paneling off and look. And if I can, somewhere up in here, splice, I'll go ahead and just run that piece up to this corner here and worry about this a little later. Because what I might do worry about this right here a little later, because what I might do over here is run a 2x4 on the outside right on top of here. You know, I guess I might have to trim it out for that a little bit. But anyway, set it up right along here and jack that up to where it's straight, you know, and then, I don't know, somehow come up in and bolt it on just to hold this corner up on the, you know, up level on the bumper. Unless at that point I can actually get up in here in the floor inside. Either way, my goal though is right here on this corner. My goal though is right here on this corner is going to be, even if I got to do a 2x4 on the outside, and the outside here will be to, you know, because you see how this thing's got this angle here though, but will be to find, you know, wherever, probably right there where the roof stops going straight and comes straight down to here, and attach it here to lift this corner up. I'm not going to actually have the corner weight up on this little angle end here. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to work on for now is, should I do the 2x4 right here first? Or actually, you know what? I should work on this end first. I could probably can I take the paneling off without that? I don't know. Okay, something I had failed to mention is, you know, the two things I'm trying to do is tighten this thing up for insulation because it's getting winter time, and I'm also trying to reclaim some space so I can, you know, hang some clothes in there and put my, you know, my window panels up in there when I'm not using them. The reason why I'm not trying to do this right the first time, because I think it'd actually be simpler than what all this crazy, is just this incline. This steep incline, and there's concrete halfway down there, but no concrete on this side. It's been, you know, it's already a struggle just to get it almost level, and it's still far from it, really. As you can see, you know, and I really want to try to make it level, but the more I push up on this bumper, you know, the more the body wants to sag. So, like I said, I'm really just trying to tie up from the back of the axle mount to over here to over this bumper, so, you know, and get a couple of beams going up this way up to the ceiling to support it. And if that works good, maybe I'll work on the other side later, even though, as you can see, you know, the worst one first. Hey, I wish I would have realized this earlier in life, but and I'm starting to wonder if maybe I had this all wrong. Okay, stapling the siding, I was thinking that they were stapling through here, setting the next piece on, and then stapling it up along the top, but I might have been completely opposite, because as you see, there's no staple marks in here, and all the staple marks are here. I might actually be able to take these walls apart and reconstruct them properly, because these are done totally backwards, and this is great. Okay, if I'd have known that, I would have pulled this thing down a long time ago and started working on this. But I always thought that once I, you know, pulled this off, all this stuff was going to break and I wouldn't be able to staple it back up because I'd have to start from the top. Wow. Okay, anyway, now we got to take a good look at this right here. Look at that. Okay, there's where the beam is. And yeah, now, okay, but it does look like it's solid up to here. And there's the wall, which is solid for, I mean, you know, I could reusable for now anyway, up to about here. So I just splice in there, and I don't even have to go all the way to there. I splice in right here, and I got this lifted up along this right there, and I think, yeah, right there's and right there's another one. That one there, in fact, that one there, I think, lined up right where I was talking about in the corner. Wow, so I might be able to attach to that and just push up on that Yeah, it's no, look at that right. Okay, wow. I might be able to fix this for real without all the craziness. Let's see if we can get a good look up inside of here too. Man, I need to get a better flashlight. I'm definitely gonna go look this back up. Let's go ahead and get a nice high resolution smooth frame rate of this right here. I can't believe how actually savable and fixable this is. If I'd just known that this siding was put on backwards by design. Awesome. That means, like I said, I can't wait to actually start taking and replacing some of the siding that needs it for real. Man, I just took the next step up in figuring out how to work on these RVs proper. Then I'll do the door, but that's after the bed. In fact, I ain't even worried about the bed until I do this. This is too exciting. Let's go up the road and go see if I can find some scrap wood to work on. Okay, so I guess kind of an instructional idea for taking you don't have to do the whole wall to get to the floor now. You only got to do that first piece, and the first piece is actually a lot easier than you think. Of course, you want to make sure you take off any railings or anything, or any bolts holding it on around both sides, and then you pull out any staples, and the bottom one is held up by staples in here, and I bet I pull those staples out, that'll slide right out. Put it back up, restaple it, and that's it. Now you can do some more, check out what we got underneath it. But of course, it wasn't going to be as easy as we thought as I was getting into here. Yeah. Yep, that's not even hardly attached over there. So let's pull this piece off and see what's behind it. All right. According to theory, now I got all the staples out, which is without messing the metal up too much, which is a lot easier said than done. But let's see what it looks like. It should just slide out now. Okay, I think that's just that sealant right there in the door holding this thing in. Maybe let's pull this out. Don't tell me they got another staple up on the underside of that thing. Aha! There is a staple in there. Yep. Man. So, maybe I was wrong about them going from the top down. Maybe I just got lucky along this side here. I don't know. Okay, that was it. I did that and it slid out. Now, I still think I'm right about them going from down up, which makes fixing floor problems so much easier. And actually, I'll explain why it makes it a lot. See, on a house, the siding goes up, but on the trailers or RVs, they apparently go down. I can explain that in a moment, but anyway, what they did was this piece here is a little shorter than this piece down here sticking out over to here. So what it is, they just took advantage of the fact that this is gap and stapled it. They didn't actually put this, you know what I'm saying? They didn't staple this and then put this over it. They just had some sticking out that they just took advantage of in the door frame. All right, that's probably talking too much, but this right here, that's not looking too good, is it? I didn't really get a good look up in here. That's pretty solid right there, though. But this is really where I need to be. And this is what we're working on. Let me open this up here. So take a good look-see here what we're working on. And this floor, yeah, it's a couple inches here crumbled up. But again, I ain't too worried about the inch of floor right here on the edge. I'm worried about this right here. Yeah, see, look at that thing there. So just sitting there wobble, and there's two layers, 1 and 2. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go ahead and just start away from back over here in the corner, or at least from right here, and Oh, that's just the stairs. Okay. Yeah, that's just the stairs. Well, heck, when I get done with that, I bolt that back up and maybe I'll be able to reuse that. That's the frame I'm looking to grab. Okay, so that's where I want to start the 2x4 off. It's right here in this corner and run them both over there. And like I said, you can see they're not really 2x4s. I'm going to have to actually take the saw. Probably best with the table saw if I got a big enough blade. I'm going to have to run all the way down both of these things. And I was hoping I would just have to do from here to here, but I'm a dummy. I had to go all the way from there to there, so I might have to get, that one might be long enough. I don't know about that one, but anyway, let's see what we can do. All right, I can't believe it. I found me a couple of 2x4s in the scrap pile just right. A couple of extra ones to work with, stripped them down, 111 inches or so. And look what I got out of storage last week as I closed, or the week before, as I closed my storage account and put in my new storage trailer. And talk about perfect timing. So I went and checked and said, you know, I don't have any chalk for my chalk box to make straight lines on this. I think I got some chalk left over from my dad's stuff somewhere in there, but I can't find it right now. But anyway, I said, you know, I remember somebody coming up with a 10-inch skill saw blade and just tossing it out, and I grabbed it and said, hey, I think that'll fit the table one day. And I tossed it in that box and left it in my back behind my RV here. And now I said, hey, you know, I'm not even gonna worry about it if this blade that's already in there works. But that's just a regular skill saw blade, and it only comes up not even 2 inches, and I need, you know, I want to make sure I got enough. So anyway, brand new blade finally meets this, finally meets my home. Let's get to this. Oh, and the stinking sun, sorry, the sun ain't shining like it was, and I've only got a few more hours of it, so I better get this done so I ain't got almost dead batteries when I go to bed. But as soon as I get some gas for the generator, wait a minute, I wonder if I got gas for the generator right now. Do I got enough? Yeah. Oh, I think that's 2-stroke though. Yeah, that's 2-cycle gas. Nope, I don't have any gas for the generator right now, so let's run off the solar. See you in a little bit. Okay, well, I got my 211-inch planks by 2.5-inch cut. I happen to have an extra 31 inches, which should be perfect to just go ahead and line right up against this one here for now. And I, you know, when I work on this other corner later, because it's starting to get late in the day and everything, I'm just going to bolt that up here and try to get those two in here. But before I do that, I made a video a couple days ago on the new blower and weed eater I got. I don't know if it's going to make it on YouTube or this one first, but you know, I just realized I want to give this a try, see what happens. There, you know how much better I feel getting all that rat poop and stuff cleaned out. And I'll tell you what, most of my rat problems, see this right here, they were pulling this down and getting up in here and climbing up all through this thing. And about a month or so ago, I mean literally like just strapped this where they couldn't pull this down anymore, and I don't believe I've had much of a rodent problem, if at all, since. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Now let's get strapping these on. Okay, that's something else I want to talk about real quick. Here's a little issue I have here, and I think because I noticed that my floor is still just a little bit lower than it should be, even though I did this whole thing and jacked it up and everything. And I noticed this because it's squashed over here. And what I think I'm gonna do is just come up in here and see, this is, okay, here's the floor. Basically, here it comes out. It's got runners that stick out like this, and it's got two by 2.5s, 1.5 by 2.5s running this way. And then they put a 5/8 sheet of plywood on it. They put a piece of carpet, and then they put a 2x2 as the bottom of the wall runner, and then 2x2s up every, I think, 16 inches or so down the side. And then apparently they go ahead and every about 4 feet or so run a strap across, and then they put the siding, and then come down to the bottom and have a little 90 on the bottom, and pull the plastic up around it, put the siding over it, tack, 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 tack. Okay, and there's insulation in the middle here too. I don't know if I'm going to run the insulation up under there yet or not. I probably should, just so I don't have to mess with this, because the floor is all messed up too. And that's another thing I'm thinking about doing is, I don't know, how thin is this thing? So if I put the double on here, that double's going to be holding up this floor, I would have guessed. I might be able to get away with that in this corner because it's not all that bad. Like literally the 2 holes that were right by that corner of the door and up in the very corner over there. I don't know. One step at a time. Oh, here's something else I forgot to mention when I really don't want to have to replace this whole thing. I may not have to. I might be able to. Anyway, what I was trying to get at is, okay, so 1.5 by 2 by 2.5 double. Then they put the plywood on it, and then on the runners that are sticking out, after the carpet goes on, apparently they put these bolts between the 2x and all the way down through here, tighten it up, and then they put the wall on top. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like they're doing. So really, I gotta break or cut all these off to do this right, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and then this bolts through there and bolts through there, and that might be why those are still soggy, because I just got a couple of bolts going up this way and I don't actually have them bolting and compressing. Anyway, wow, what an adventure. I might actually get this like fixed up for real, one step at a time, instead of having to do it all at once. Oh, anyway, the conundrum I'm in is, okay, yeah, that doesn't go through both of them. That just bolts through the outside one. But anyway, is that lined up with all of them? No, these are set back a little bit more, so yeah, those look like those. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is all this compression right here, is this thing here sagging on this as it's deteriorating, and what I really need to do is try to lift up just a little bit on here so I can slide my new boards up in here, and it's gonna have to, fit in between here and there, and I need to add make sure I got enough room for the floor. Oh man, yeah, there's a little bit more floor missing right up under there than I thought. Yeah, this is gonna end up being a plywood thingy to do later, I guess. So let's just concentrate on getting that runner up in between there, and then I can always pivot and jack it up in. So, all right, check this out. Just a little shorter than I wanted it to be, but man, I tell you what, I just literally just cut it, bolted it onto what was left of that, and ran it over here and just made sure that it was on top of this brace and that brace. And honestly, that right there is enough to put a piece of plywood on and fix that floor and reused it as a temporary fix, let alone go ahead and putting these two runners in, which I'm about to do next. But man, look at that. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You guys want to take a look and see what's going on over here. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, I run that over there. I put a piece of plywood down there just for now, and I've already got myself a closet started up. Awesome. All right, check it out. I got my two runners up in here, side by side, bolted together, all the way on down to the corner, and to the corner for once. The hardest part of this really was the hacksaw, because my power saw blade wore out to cut all these bolts and everything, sliding these off here. But anyway, so now I got my two beams up in here, the walls lined up. I went ahead and bolted it back down to here. There's a little gap here where the plywood's supposed to be. I'm gonna have to come in here and fill this out and level it out, but now I don't have to have that jack there no more. I went inside, and that beam right there, I stepped on it and it's nice and solid. So now I just put the piece of siding up and staple it, and we'll call it, and maybe put the piece of plywood in the inside. We'll call that a job for the moment. All right, I went and took the hammer and this little setup here and got this thing here about as straightened out as I can get it before we apply it. Okay, now I'm about to slide this thing up in here, and you know, I know what you're saying, Josh, well, why'd you put the insulation up under here before you put this? Because I'm not ready for that, but I won't even have to unbolt these and take this out to do that. I can just literally, I think, slide this piece out and just shove it up in there. You know, and if I got to take it out, it ain't that hard. It's just literally unscrew these right here, and the thing slide. And oh, and I did attach it some of these right here with some washers up on there. So this thing here is actually, look at that. Wait until I go on the side and shake it. It's, yeah, never been that solid since I bought this thing. But anyway, so the next step is going to be these things would get stapled down if I was finishing the project, but I'm not. But these go ahead of this. I staple this up, and then I'm ready to slide the siding up. All right, I got this piece of siding back on, all the way back over to the wheel well. Well, I had this thing here opening and closing a little easy. Anyway, got my door frame all finished back up. And what I went ahead and did for now was just grab me some of these little self-tappers, or whatever you call metal roofing screws, and toss them up under there to hold the flashing or the siding, and then later on just take out these couple of screws and I can drop it back down and get up under there and work. So let's go see what it looks like inside now. I ain't even got to see what it looks like since I reattached this wall. Oh wow, look at how solid that is. Haha, not since I bought this thing. Now I got a little bit more playing around with the door here, but yeah, look at that. Way better than it's ever been before. Look, it still looks like it needs to go up a little more, huh? But not much. Anyway, now I've got myself a spot to set me a piece of wood for now. And I think what I'm going to do for in here for right now is just take that tarp and staple it along the walls to keep the insulation from making it so dirty in here. I guess I clean up. Oh, there's a little gap right there in the plastic I need to fix up. But wow, what a difference.
All right, check out the end results inside as I go ahead and finish up for the evening. I went ahead and got me a floor that I can actually stand on. All I gotta do is do that back wall, and I actually got a couple of pieces of paneling right there that get the saw out tomorrow and trim down when I got some electricity, and do a little framing up in there, and that'll actually do good for now until I move and do this for real. But yeah, some paneling out of Danny's peanut stand trailer. Fill that in just nice. Now I don't have to worry about putting that tarp and everything in there, and I can even start stacking stuff in there now and leave it alone for a while. I ain't got that insulation all just right up next to my face like I was worried about. So wait, and my wall, just solid. Never been more solid. Door lines up good. Even got me a piece of wood on the bottom of it, and I'm going to start fixing that door up real soon too. Then we'll have it all fixed up. J&K. Got anything else to say today? Okay, it's the next day. Yesterday, I got that siding pulled off and the floor joist replaced, and didn't have to do anything with the wood over here because I mean it was just it was rotted up against the wall line, I guess, but it wasn't rotted so enough to keep it over the second joist running, so that you know, it's solid. Anyway, you know, it's kind of sticking out here where it actually is literally rotted through. There's nothing left at all but the plastic underlayment. So I need to come in here and trim it down, and I imagine what really happened is it was leaking up in here, running down, and just building up along this. And I bet that this rotted here goes all the way across the whole end of the camper, and that's why the whole end was sagging down and looking like the frame was bent. It wasn't a bent frame, it was the body was sagging, or the body was sagging on the frame. Anyway, so I think I am going to come in here and take a measurement of this right here and make me a few more of these, and go ahead and put that one in there. And I really do think I did a pretty good job of lining that up right there. I think I may have to take these back out, trim them down a little bit so I can run me a board this way. Like I said, this is kind of temporary at the moment because, you know, this one here I didn't even have enough made up. I just, you know, off-grid power, you only use your saw as much as you can. But anyway, like all this here, you know, it really just I don't know. This might be a project for another day. Like I said, I might just cover this up for now. The important thing is I got the insulation covered up last night so I could sleep. But anyway, what I want to do with this place here is make it a lot more open up. Like I said, I want to take the clothes and be able to hang them in here, but I don't want this big closet thing. Had closet, 2 drawers, and then a cabinet up under there, you know, similar to what's going on over here right now. And I don't want, I mean, that's handy for storage, I guess, and everything, but it's just, man, it takes up so much room, makes this thing feel so confined and everything, and makes it hard to make the bed and everything. So what I really want to do is take this off out of here, put me a little rack up here to hang the clothes on, and just have them slide up over there so I can have as much or little room take up with the clothes as I want. And put me a little thing, you know, with some drawers in it, and a little top right here for an end table, and just have it all opened up and do that. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. And what I was trying to think about was the benefit here will be this piece right here, already custom fit. I just take this and slide it right over here. Boom, that takes care of that.
And then I got this extra piece here. If I'm real careful taking it apart, I can reuse for something else later. So yeah, so that's actually a real big benefit, being able to slide that right over. Like I said, I just literally used a staple gun and just stapled those things together to cover up the installation for now. Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna have to take those out anyway. But when I do, I will definitely put the insulation back in. And I don't know, am I gonna tackle that today or not? I'm at least taking this thing down. I want some more room in here and make it feel better. All right, JK. Let's get to work today. All right, how's this for being a little bit more open? I think I like it. Like I said, the mattress is going to end up dropping down where the box spring is as well. But let's take a look, see and see a few things. Okay, I already realized that I was going to have this end up opening up to the little storage unit outside, but it doesn't matter because it's sealed up really. In fact, I might make something interesting out of this little setup later. But this is the cabinet up over here. It's not too terrible up in there. Man, look at that stuff right there. Think about me laying down underneath it. And this is what the previous owners did. Was see all this rod up in here, is they just came up in here and put these things here, stapled them up over this stuff here. This stuff here rotted out, and they just went and put some wood over it and metal sheeting and said, oh, okay, we'll sell it and get rid of it. Well, I'm going to come up in here pretty soon and end up actually, yeah, redoing all this. But you know what? That's one of the reasons why I want to drop this mattress down and get rid of box springs, so I can take this mattress in and out easier, so I can start working on this whole back wall. And I just pretty much just going to redo the whole back wall. I even thought about flattening it out instead of having this little in and out, this little, you know, this little in and out here. But I think I'm going to leave that because I realize if I flatten it out to where the wall is, I wouldn't have this little space between the pillows, between the window and my pillows. So I'm going to leave that. But like I said, the mattress is going to drop back down to here, which is, you know, I don't know. I got some stuff to do. But anyway, yeah, look at this. No wonder these things are sagging and everything. Yeah. Yep. But I think I'm going to have fun with this over. And I think what I'm going to do up here is I thought I may take it out, make it feel a little bigger and everything. Or I may leave it, but do like I did in my kitchen cabinets and just take everything, put the shelf and framing out so that it's just an open thingy. All right, next step. All right, here's the situation with the bed so far. I went ahead and got the box spring pulled out of here, and I've got the frame rails that held the box spring up, and I put a 2x4 to hold the rails side to side, and a couple more 2x4s to hold that up off the ground. Maybe I'll straighten that out up a little bit later, maybe not, but this is what I decided to do. Is take a sheet of plywood and cut it 5 feet by 4 feet, which gave me a 3x4 feet left. And so I cut that down to 2.5 feet to make the 6.5 foot. And then I took a little scrap piece of plywood, which is 12 inches by the 30 inches right there. And I went ahead and cut me out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2x4 by 5 feet and laid them out about every 13 inches up to this point here. And what I decided to do was make that an overlap, because this is going to be up at the headboard. And so that's going to lay up to the headboard. That's going to lay down. That end over there is going to go on top of that, and then this is going to go. And what I did right here was the bed frame sticks off and the mattress still sticks off about, probably a good almost foot off of the bed frame, and I don't want it folding down between the slats, so I put these 2x4s in here real tight, and I think that's going to give me the support I need to keep it from bowing down over the end of the bed frame. Oh, and leaving it in 2 pieces makes it a lot easier too, since it turned out to be a little bit heavier than I'd like. But this is what I got to work with. I'd like to use thinner, smaller wood, because like I said, the whole idea is to shorten the mattress to the ceiling ratio and get it closer to the floor. But I think that what is that, about 2 inches is a lot better than, you know, what is that, closer to 6 or 7 inches right there. All right, the other advantage to having the piece of plywood in 2 sections is it's a lot easier to get in here and fit in and fit out, instead of having a, you know, 5 by 6.5 solid sheet, which is kind of the whole problem with the other mattress being in here. Now it's 2 sections, much more easily manageable. I might even put a hinge on it and a little hook or something up there and a strap, so I can lift it up and put it back down to get right in here every now and then. I don't know, we'll see. Yep, very much easier to get in and set in place in 2 pieces. Yeah, I'll probably leave it this way, put the mattress on top and see what it looks like. All right, I got it on here, and a few things I noticed is I got an extra inch or 2 maybe on here, which means these were set a little wide. I can probably unbolt these and trim everything down just a little bit, because I know it's, see right there, trim that down and redo this a little later and round off these corners over here. But you know, because when you're walking alongside here, every little inch counts. In fact, another thing I'm gonna do is slide the water tank over, you know, 4 or 5 inches, and everything else, so that your feet can sit this way without touching anything. And then eventually that's gonna get done. But wow, a lot better than it was before. I guess what I decided to do at the last moment, I decided to see if I could sneak a piece of wood up there, bolt it on there, and get up over the wall over here to hold this thing up. And well, I reached in and kept going, and look at this. This is what the old owners left in this thing before selling it to me. Man, I can't believe it. That's pretty outrageous. Let's see. You look up in here while I got this thing going. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could go in a little bit further and it stops rotting. Yikes. Oh well, I'll just use my window paneling to keep it off my mattress. Let's just keep peeling it off. Some more cleanup, but that's less to do in the future. I think I'm gonna just eventually come in and just start pulling all the paneling off and just redoing all the paneling back here, and just do room by room, you know, a few months at a time whenever I got some extra money. All right, check this out. It's a little unorthodox, but I split me a 2x4 and bolted it over to where the wood was good and where it isn't. Put it right just short of the wall, and then I took me another 2x2 or 1x1, whatever it is. Anyway, stuck it out to the root, you know, over the wall to the over the wall top joist out to the siding, and then lifted it all up level and went zip zip. And now look at that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so that's a start. So at least now I got a, for what it's worth, a solid beam across here, as long as that corner ain't rotted out. But you know, I see a sag there. You know, there ain't hardly nothing left up in there. There's another sag over here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I'm gonna just start taking out the paneling, and anytime I come up with a rotted wood, piece of wood like that, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, swap it out. For real, this is just patching it up the right way for now. I mean, this is a legitimate repair, really. You know, but I'm gonna actually, like I said, pull it all off, redo all the framing, and then just come in here with new paneling and just do kind of like I'm doing, right up against the wall, and then put the bed in here. And I'll probably leave this closet because it's still in good shape and everything. But again, technically, you know, to do this paneling, I'm going to have to take this wall down, the tub out, you know, and then put them back up. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to do some cleanup. Maybe a couple more shots and call this a day. I'm about wore out. And I'm going to put me a little, like I said, I think way on out there. I got those sets of drawers and everything. See if one of them's narrow enough to fit up into here. And then it'll bring it right up there and fill that in. And like I said, I can live with that for a little while. Alright, I have done it. I have built me a mattress frame. Fixed up my place as good as I could, but the big thing is it's all clean. I got up in here and got all that stuff cleaned out. See, I cleaned it all out. Same here, clean. Well, it's not spotless, but you know, I brushed it out at least. But anyway, I ain't worried about this right now. You barely notice it. It's all cleaned up and ain't a problem. But look at this. I know this is going to go sideways, but I look at from where I started from. Hole in the floor down to the plastic, nothing but metal, and yeah, pretty awesome. Alright, now I just go clean up the job site outside, make my bed, jump in the shower, and I'm done. The only thing I really got left is to mount the lights, but I'm gonna wait till tonight because I want to see if I want to adjust this light around to see if I can fill it in over here a little bit. And I gotta get one of those and bring it in and take a picture. Alright, something like this. It just needs a little bit of cleaning up. I'll do that in the tub later on. And it's nothing nasty, just from sitting outside for the last couple of weeks since I got it. But look at that. From ceiling, other than that little hole right there, which I ain't worried about. It don't look bad and it ain't dirty. To bottom, solid. I can now actually walk from corner to corner in my RV with solid floors, and I couldn't do that when I first got this thing. Now I get my bedding back up, probably just toss that fan in my storage trailer, clean out that corner so I can walk around in there, probably use that closet to store my foam panels for now, because it's, you know, I don't want to store anything valuable because it's kind of smelly up in there. I think I got some beans way on down there that I could just leave there until I get ready to do that corner. And when I do, I know I can do it from the outside in much easier than I ever thought possible. Alright, we're at the last step, and it's putting the stairs back in, and it wasn't as hard as I thought. It was still a little bit of a gap where it went in or it came in and out. Just make sure that the little flanges are tilted down just a little bit. Slide it up in there on both sides, and then tap it in with a hammer till you get it just past the siding. And I'm going to try these right here and the drill bit. Honestly, the hardest part about this was the same thing with the frame, getting these rusted out bolts out. One of them I was able to actually break loose and unthread it, and the other one snapped, as you could see, and the big old pliers I had. But you see what I'm talking about, how it goes through the carpet, then the plywood, and then the 2x2, and then the 2x2, or the 1.5 by 2.5 inch flooring, and then through the bottom of the frame here. Anyway, I'm gonna have to peel this back and get that up over there. But anyway, you know, start off with this drill bit here, 5/32, and then a 13mm to drive these in. Put the little lock washers back on it, and let's see if these are strong enough to hold this up without wobbling, because I remember doing something similar on my front steps, and as you see, it's still just not solid. But when I go over to my new storage camper, which is actually Craig's old camper that that he gave to me for packing up his stuff and getting it out of here. Anyway, so I don't remember if I tried these kind of bolts over there, or maybe I used just some screws or something, and maybe that's why it's not working. So let's try these to see how it works, or if I can do this 100% today. All right, got it loosened up and up underneath the siding. So here we go. Good and tight. Double check this one here. Yeah, it's tight. All right, now, will it support my weight? Well, that is a almost, but it's feeling kind of the same way the front door is. Yeah, well, no. I wonder why that is still flexing like that. Unless I really do need to go all the way up through the door, and that just might just take longer bolts. Maybe I can get away with longer bolts, but that explains why I got those bricks up under there. But it's still usable more than it was. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, this looks like, no, I've got a double stair, and this is only a single stair, but see how that, yeah, see, that's what I want that one to do. But oh well, I guess I can't do anything until I get to the hardware store. Still, put some bricks up under that, and at least I can use the stairs better than the blocks, because the blocks are about to fall over if you didn't step on them just right. All right, J&K, I know you're way on up in there today. I solved it for now. Well, a lot better than it was anyway. Still flexes a little tiny bit, but what I did was come up in here with some 3-inch long screws and bolted it up through this way to catch that door frame coming up, and also went ahead and made sure these two side-by-side joists are stuck together real solid, and it made a, well, okay, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was, but all right, back to the drawing board. I actually may need the floor in there to secure it, or again, maybe some bigger bolts. Ooh, alarm's going off for ladder with Crowder. Time to go turn on the computer. Okay, now look at this. This is a lot more what I was expecting. I'm actually bouncing on that, and it feels a lot more like that one over there, and I think I figured out what's going on. Down in here, see this right here? You want to get this corner pushed up against the frame here, and the little gap here I think is just from this and this having a little downhill right here. Maybe I got to work on getting the frame up just a little higher. I don't care. Point is though, is now this is pushing up against the frame instead of trying to close in that gap swelling out on the frame. So point is, I got it fixed, I believe, correctly for now. Man, I fixed the door up, and I think I'm done for now. Yeah, buddy. And I'll do the same thing with that step there. Pull those bolts out, slide it in to close that gap, because I bet that's the same exact thing going on over there. Re-drill the holes, bolt them up, and I got lucky. I was able to miss the holes and put new holes without, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I can finally use my stairs. All right, got all the siding put back up. Trying to get the caulk gun out, patch up all the holes, and take a break. Find something else to do for a little while. All right, I believe I've pretty close to 100%ed what I can do without rebuilding this door. I got me a little seal along the bottom. It appears I got a little gap at the top that I might need to get a seal with, and it likes to catch on that. Wouldn't hurt to find a way to get that in just a little bit smaller. Maybe I could get some better screws. Anyway, point is look how solid I got this now. And what I did, the last little trick of the puzzle, I was right about the plywood, is if the plywood went all the way out to here, it'd be stapled down to both these 2x4s, along with the bolts going through, and that would keep these 2x4s from wanting to flex out this way, holding it onto the plywood. So what I did was, since it's rotted out an inch or so, missing the first 2x4. You can see the second 2x4 of those right there. I went ahead and just come back in off the plywood a little bit, drilled me some holes, and come along here with a bunch of screws to hold it to. And now, look at that. That is solid. Like the best it's ever been, and I haven't been able to use this since I bought this camper 7 or 8 years ago. Time to go do the front one up 100% too now. So I know what to do. And hopefully, so do you. Okay, last side note. You know this keeps on going on, but I bet everybody, including me, has learned a lot. All right, this right here seems to be up over this on the front door. But if I do that, this would be too short to reach up there. Although I've got a little gap at the top of this railing to move this up just a little bit, but I ain't gonna put it over the floor. And if you look up under here, you can see I've got about the same amount of distance. So I think this whole wall, when I get the framing fixed up in the corner over there, is gonna have to come up like ½ inch. But I believe that is an amazing job for what I've got to work with. Goodness gracious. Tripping. I'm telling you, this place is, you see why I'm having such a hard time dealing with it. It's just nowhere to really set this thing solid. But now, man, walk right up into here. Come on up into here. Say hi to J and K. And then go to here. I still got that little gap up at the top right there. You can see a little bit of light coming through. And that's just because this door ain't solid and it kind of bows out a little bit. I'm just probably just put a seal up on there to solve that for now. But look at that. I took a hammer and just bumped that in a little bit. Look how awesome and effortless that is. That little hook kind of holds on to that door a little bit, so it takes a little swing, but if you do it gently, it stays on in one motion. You ain't got to do two. And I get a brand new handle, and yeah, closes all the way all by itself now. Steps are solid as ever. Man, I get this thing moved up and I can even fold the steps in and out conveniently, but right now, because that thing's sticking ½ inch down, it still catches a little bit when you're pulling it out. But this is my permanent home. It's not portable right now, so it ain't gonna matter. I think my last project's gonna be, hear that? When I was doing this thing just wasn't sounding good, and I'm worried about it getting hot when I go to move this next year to hopefully me and Danny's new property and see what happens. But that'll be my next thing. Take them off and just check the bearings and everything up and call it a day. All right. Oh, how effortless. How absolutely effortless. And I can walk from corner to corner. Same with this door. This door knob just click, opens and closes like it's supposed to. I got rid of all the gaps around this door as well. Yeah, buddy, I'm pretty much ready for the winter. All right, I really am going to. Oh, time to shut the water off and fill the tank, do my laundry, and go to the store, get some groceries, catch up on life and everything else. All right, it's gonna get down to like freezing tonight, actually. So, you know, once I start, I can't stop. I still had that little gap up in there. So what I did to try to fix it was put myself a little, can you see it? There it is. Put myself a little duct tape seal around it, and that actually worked, but you know, I didn't like it. So what I actually did was got the door frame unbolted completely along here and down at the bottom and slid it over, lined it up right, and reset the door latch so it works proper. And then I came up in here, took this piece of wood off and filled this thing here up with solid foam and reattached that. along with my little skirt down there. That again, never been so proper since I got it. Now I'm getting ready to call it a day and get this video done and out of the way. I just got the birds a new cage off the side of the road as I went to go hook up my water hose, fill up the tank and do my laundry. So it's time to go out with the old and in with the new as I go and clean it up. Wow, that was quite the feat, free from finances. Boy, it was a real pain to edit as the microphone on this camera kept going in and out with the zoom and focus of the camera, but I'll fix that later. How's this for environmentalism? I took a 30-year-old rotting out camper and some scrap wood, figured out how to refurbish it, restore it, and live in it. I also got solar panels, batteries, and inverters and converters, so I don't have to pay for electricity. My electric bike runs off of those to charge it. I heat my entire home now for $2 worth of propane a night at near freezing with my Big Buddy heater and an electric fan that uses 7.5 watts of electricity an hour. All of my components run off of my solar grid. I haven't even started my new generator except to make sure it runs. Again, I say, has anybody else done so much for the environment except for me? Oh, let's add the water consumption on for that with my new water tank system I put in. I'm probably averaging 10 gallons a day, maybe 14. I'm not trying to save the planet, it's just a coincidence of my lifestyle and trying to live as close to a king below my means while working smarter, not harder every day. I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that I made it through making this video or that you made it through watching this video. Either way, it's time to stop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you care to. And I can't believe you made it so far. My goodness, you must really have learned a lot like I have. Now I feel brave and confident to do this all over again on other people's RVs and help them like I've helped myself.